Hello again, and here I am with the Tamiya M2A2 ODS. I'm going to basically start talking about step 2. I've made some decisions. So the first decision that I made is I was not happy with how the sprocket, the final drive setup was depicted on the Tamiya kit. It was angled down too far, and of course you have to fill in this spot, so I went on and designed this piece the way it sits right now. It's not quite 100% the way I want. I'm going to end up adding the bolts that go all the way around the rest of it, and then I'll call it finished. But it's a nice drop fit piece that can go right in there, and the cool part is when you add the Tamiya piece, it fits right like it's supposed to. Really nice. I'm really happy with it otherwise. So it's literally a drop-on piece to fix the suspension. The next thing that I'm dealing with is this mount right here for the return roller is about 4 millimeters, or roughly the length of this, too far forward. So I have produced the replacement, which will go in basically right here, and I just need to make the return roller in the program so that basically I figure I can just print it all as one piece and it just gets glued on and it's ready to go. And that'll remove that so that the sprockets, or not the sprockets, the shocks that I created for this will fit, and they are supposed to be, oh, wrong side, drop fit pieces. So it would take too much work, I think, overall to cut all the road wheels arms off and redo them for the Tamiya kit and set them up correctly. So similar to what it looks like Blast did with their conversion set, I don't have the kit, so I don't know for sure, is I'm just creating these shocks real quick. I do have to put the bolts on the mounting plate up top. This gets moved back, that'll make it so that this arm here of the shock goes in, but you just basically mount the four, again, wrong part. You just mount them on there. The centers of the pins should be just a little bit above the center line for the return road wheels, or the return rollers. And you get the nice part is you get the detail of it right there. So center it, put it on. It's not perfect. It's not going to fix every problem, but it's going to fix that problem enough to where when you're looking behind the side skirts and looking around the road wheels, and you're looking at the sides under the tracks and all that, you're going to have the shocks there. That's going to look good. And then, as many of you know who've built this kit, B70 and B69, they're just a flat plate with a peg for putting the idler on. And I've gone in and put together what looks like a correct idler mount with the shock that goes with it, and that's meant to fit right into one of the mounting holes. However, two things. One, all these other holes will have to be filled in manually by hand, just like this hole will right here. The holes that are underneath will have to be filled in. That's just regular modeling work. I am working on setting this up right now, but when I get a chance, I hope to go to Camp Ripley, Minnesota, to the Minnesota Military Museum that's there, and get the actual measurements for all this stuff and take good look and get a lot of photos of what these areas actually look like, so that maybe I can tweak these going on into the future and make them a little bit better. And then the final piece that I wanted to show off, I'm going to let this go, it might fall over, okay, is the road wheels. As many people know, typical Tamiya two-piece with the polycap that goes in there, and this just isn't very accurate. This hub detail is a little bit too narrow, and doesn't have the rivets, so it's supposed to represent a steel wheel. And the biggest thing has been that you come on the rim, and then when you get here, it just goes straight back. And they're supposed to actually be kind of a hook-shaped rim in there, and I kind of covered this before. So I went in and actually created a new wheel. It's got the rivets, and underneath that lip you can see them in there. So these are the correct aluminum wheels, and you can see I've got it set up so the Tamiya polycap actually fits in there. It's got the bolt detail on the back side of the wheel. This is not 100% accurate because I do have to deal with the Tamiya dimensions, but this is a straight up, just push it on, just like the wheel. It goes on, it's there. You could make it rolling if you want, and the hub is better, and again the bolt detail is better. I am much happier with this, and I've made it as accurate as I can until I again get to go and look at that Bradley that's up at Camp Ripley. And it's very hard to get the dimensions or any of the real details off the internet, and I again sliced one in half, and as you can see, when I designed it, I was able to add that little rim right in here, so it's more accurate. It grabs that particular detail for those people that are concerned about it. And yeah, it was a bit of work, but it was actually fun to learn how to do it. And again, it takes the polycaps from the kit, so you can just swap out the wheels. It's about as simple as it gets. And you know, I'm printing them up, individual wheels, just like this, no problem. You just end up clipping off the supports, sand them down a little bit, and they're good to go. So that's the front half, and here's the back half. I'm really pleased with how this turned out, and I was so pleased that I went out and decided to do the wheels and put them on. This is an old DML MLRS. Here's the MLRS wheel from DML. Not really all that awesome, still okay for the time. These are the improved wheels in front. I think it really adds to it. And the cool thing about the DML ones is I did them up as one piece. So, just like this. So they just slide on, slide off. They're all ready together. All you have to do is prime them and paint them. There's no mounting stuff inside. They just go right on, glue them on, boom, they're ready to rock and roll. Now, the downside for what I'm doing right now without anything glued on is, of course, everything falls off. But that's what I've decided to do. I have not made a decision on the idler yet. I'm still looking at that, but I am going to create a new drive sprocket as well. So that's probably going to take a little bit of work. So don't expect an update on the Bradley kit until maybe Friday. I might be able to get to it earlier, but I'm hoping to get it done then. But I'm pretty psyched with how good things have gone so far. So I hope to bring good news next time you see this. See you then.